Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, it's time to cuddle up with a nice blanket. Buzz Blanket is a 7% cream stout with coffee from Drafting Table Brewing Company in Wixom, Michigan. When they say that winter is stout season, they ain't lying. Now, I love them all year round, but I think this year we've been really blessed. Yes, blessed with so many great stout releases this winter. I think the last 10 videos I've made, maybe one or two haven't been stouts, and I still have a whole load of stouts to do. So I don't see it slowing, anywhere in the next few weeks. Today, I'm talking about Buzz Blanket from Drafting Table. It sounds like a really delicious combo here, a cream stout with coffee. Fun fact, cream stouts and milk stouts are basically the same. Both use lactose to add some sweetness to the finished beer. So let's take a look at the label. We'll get this one into a glass. Now, this is, like I said, from Drafting Table in Wixom, and it says so right on the top here. It says Wixom, Michigan, Drafting Table Brewing Company, Buzz Blanket, cream stout with coffee, and it looks like it's a kind of like a flannel blanket here, red and black with a white stripe, and it says Buzz Blanket in the top of a mug of coffee, which makes total sense because this is a coffee, or it's a cream stout with coffee, as it says. And then on the side here, it says brewed and canned by Drafting Table Brewing Company and their website, draftingtablebeer.com. Buzz Blanket is a cream stout brewed with coffee from Higher Grounds in Traverse City, Michigan. It's smooth, creamy, and sweet with a balanced coffee flavor. And 7% alcohol by volume, net content 16 fluid ounces. And I like that they tell you what kind of glass. I like this when beer labels have this on it, or breweries put this on their label. It shows a snifter glass, and this one has a bitterness scale. So it has 5 hops. It shows you it's only 1 hop out of 5 on the bitterness scale. It says enjoy fresh from a glass, keep cold, do not age, and contains lactose. And then on the other side, it has the government warning, some other information about Drafting Table, like their address, and that's what we got. And then this was canned. I believe this was a taproom release on the 6th of December. It's now the 15th of December, so I'm not letting this age. I'm going at it right now, and I'm going to go ahead and crack it open. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to crack it and put a nose on the can here. Whoa, a little bit of a bubble. Oh, man. Lots of coffee characteristic coming through right now. Huge coffee aroma. And a little bit of a kind of stouty kind of aroma, but a lot of coffee. I'm getting a whole lot of coffee through there. So let's go ahead and pour this. And it's kind of dark. It doesn't look too thick. Has a thickness to it, but doesn't look overly thick. Pour a little bit more in there. And getting about a finger, maybe a finger and a half worth of head, really compact, tight bubbles, coffee colored head, like a dark khaki, a brownish color, which is to be expected with a stout. And let's go ahead and hold this up. And that is really dark, opaque, obviously, a little bit of a kind of lightish brown color through the bulb on the bottom here. That's really the only place you can see what the actual color is, or what it would look like when you're pouring it. When I hold it up like this, is it looks really close to what it looked like when I was pouring it, like a lighter brown, maybe a bit of a reddish tinge to it. And that head is still on there, still about a half a finger's worth of head. And let's get a better nose here out of the glass. Yeah, just a lot of coffee aroma coming out of it. A little bit of a sweetness in there as well. Has a bit of a sweet coffee aroma, maybe like, and I've said this a few times, but it's almost like a coffee candy. Like, obviously when you eat a coffee candy, it doesn't taste anything like coffee. It tastes like coffee with a whole bunch of sugar and stuff in it. This smells sweet. It doesn't smell quite as extreme as a coffee candy, but it has a real coffee aroma to it. It smells pretty good. So let's go ahead and take a drink. Cheers. That has a really nice, earthy coffee character to it right up front. The mouthfeel is a nice medium mouthfeel. It's a little bit on the thin side, but not too thin. It's got a nice creamy kind of mouthfeel to it. It kind of, in your mouth, this kind of creamy, I don't know, this whole creamy texture thing's going on in there. And the flavor is a big coffee burst, really kind of dark roasted coffee, like just like a really good cup of coffee. Once you get that earthy coffee, As it kind of goes over my tongue, I almost get this dark, super dark chocolate kind of flavor in there as well. And then as it goes back and I swallow it, I get that coffee kind of starts to come back through. That really strong, earthy coffee flavor comes back through. It's not an overpowering coffee. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is coffee through and through. So coffee at the beginning, coffee in the middle, coffee at the end. Coffee is the entire wrapper on the flavor, but it also has this really dark chocolate sweetness to it as well. And I know dark chocolate isn't super sweet, but it's kind of got that sweet coffee profile as well. It's just a really solid coffee stout. Like I said, that creaminess, everything just together, just ties it all together really well. The creaminess, the coffee flavor, that just tinge of sweetness to kind of pique your interest, right? And then the coffee flavor comes back through. It's coffee through and through. Don't get me wrong, but the coffee is never bitter. It's not. It's a whole lot of coffee. Don't get me wrong. So again, it's coffee at the beginning, coffee at the end, coffee in the middle, but it never overpowers you with coffee. There's just this tinge of sweetness in there that's just enough to kind of tie it together. That creamy mouthfeel's in there, and that's also what kind of wraps it all up really well. If you're not a coffee lover, I would tell you to stay away from this. But if you love coffee stouts, if you love just nice, creamy coffee stouts, really good coffee flavor, this is one to pick up from Drafting Table. It just has this nice, it's just not too much. Like, I like coffee a lot, but I'm not a coffee connoisseur. I'm not somebody who does my own pour overs and, I don't have a Chemex. I mean, I do have a Chemex, but I, I'm not overboard. Like, I'm not going to all these different places to buy different kinds of coffees. Beer is my thing, that I go to all these different places to try different beers. But if you know somebody that's coffee aficionado, this would be a really great coffee kind of stout to get them into the whole game, into the whole stout game, or into the whole beer game if they're not into beer at all. But don't say I didn't warn you if they start spending way too much money on beer like we do, because this is just a really solid coffee stout. If you're looking for a great coffee stout, Buzz Blanket from Drafting Table is one for you to try. All right, friends, that has been Buzz Blanket from Drafting Table Brewing Company in Wixom. If you find yourself in their tap room, let them know you saw their beer right here. So have you had Buzz Blanket, or do you have a favorite stout or a stout style? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, if you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell, because I'm here talking about beer twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays for free for viewers just like you, and you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed. If you have any questions you want answered on these upcoming videos, you can leave me a text or a voicemail on the Draft Therapy hotline at 224-DRAFT-20. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little Draft Therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.